Hey guys, it's Rachel from the Tlrl Lamb, and today is my Tlrl Watch 1.2 video. And today I'm going to be discussing the last 11 episodes of the first season of Felicity, starting from the episode Friends till the end of the season, which the last episode is called Felicity Was Here. If I'm looking down, I'm looking at my notebook where I have all my notes, and I have a few notes actually on my phone because last night I was eating some food that, I was eating pizza. I'm not going to act like I was eating something like, really healthy. I was eating pizza and watching it, and, hands get greasy. I couldn't really write, so I recorded some stuff, and then I was too lazy to transcribe. So we will listen to that after. So basically this whole video will be, if you haven't seen the first video, I'll link in the down bar. That's the first half of the first season of Felicity. It's not too late to join in, so definitely consider joining in, and the Facebook page will be in the link below. It should be the second link. This video is I'm first going to go through my notes on each episode. So let's say you've only watched to episode 16. I'm going to say the title of the episode, my notes. Title, episode, notes. So you should not get spoiled. But after that point, there could be spoilers because I discuss my top 3 episodes. My one episode where I'm like, my least favorite kind of episode to skip. And then I ask a discussion question at the end. So 1.2, episode 12, Friends. Also, if you're watching the DVD, they don't label the pilot as an episode, but technically there's 22 episodes, so I labeled them. So Friends was considered, I think, episode 13 or 11. I think 11. I just renumbered them. So anyway, we're starting on episode 12, Friends. So I said, Blair, you've been caught by Felicity. This definitely won't get out. Not, because she catches like everybody doing something bad and it's like, we'll honestly tell them. Also, sorry, my hair looks really, well, I guess it's appropriate, my hair looking so like, ginormica, because, Felicity's hair is very curly, and my hair's not curly, it's just really frizzy right now. I'd tell my best friend if her BF was cheating, because Felicity was scared to kind of tell Elena that her boyfriend was cheating, and I'm like, why wouldn't you just tell if your best friends? Like, I know because they're newer friends, it's probably more awkward, but I was thinking, like, my friendship, me and my best friend are, like, have a really solid friendship where we can basically tell each other anything, even if it's, like, hurtful or something. Like, obviously preface it in, like, low blow, but, like, not low blow, but, like, preface it and tell about it, but, like, we've been best friends for at least 10 years now, so a little bit of a difference, but we have like one of those friendships where you can literally tell the other person, like, they're getting on your nerves, like, I hate you right now, like, and the other person will not freak out, or like will freak out but will come to their senses kind of thing. Tara, I said, what a snake. I really like Julie's birth mother storyline. Like, that's one I genuinely love, and it makes me think Julie's character is more interesting and complex. Doubt creeps in after Blair and Felicity's convo. So I kind of had some doubts about that. I was like, because I've seen this, obviously, if you didn't know, I've watched the whole series before, so I'm not going to be spoiling episodes ahead of this, but I can honestly remember some of the stuff that happens in these episodes because it's been 4 years-ish since I've watched this. Where am I? Is it weird that I like Ben and Julie in this scene? From 10 minutes and 30 seconds to 12 minutes and 9 seconds. I really like them. I think they're cute in that scene. Noel and Sansa's relatives, Noel and Sansa's relatives, that was a fun scene. I love the awkwardness between Ben and Noel. 25 minutes and 40 seconds to 26 minutes and 30 seconds. I like the short convo between Julie and Felicity. I'm not a big Julie fan. I'm not a big fan of their friendship. I love Elena and Felicity's friendship more, but in certain moments I do like Julie and Felicity's friendship. Elena listened to Felicity. I spelled Elena's name wrong. That's probably why I stumbled over all that. Elena listened to Felicity from 34 minutes and 50 seconds to 35 minutes and 40 seconds. And I said, Noel and Felicity from 37 minutes onward. And then I said, Tara is a horrible friend. Like, honestly, like, if you're going to do that to one of your best friends, like, if you're going to do that, even though it's shady, you should have talked to her, even though that was not going to help. But, like, to do that and not even talk to her about it was horrible. Then I have Todd Molokai, I forgot to say his last name. It was said in the episode 2, part 1. So I thought I recognized his title. I was pretty sure I knew what happened in the end of the first half, and I was right. I'm not going to get to that yet, though. I love Richard and Noel's relationship. It's hilarious. All their scenes together are hysterical. Todd is too intense, 10:30 to 11:45. And I said, boy, take a hint. And I said that would have been a sweet goodbye with Todd if that had been it. That would have been just a nice goodbye. That was earlier in the episode. I forget what part that was. I did not write down the times. I'm sorry about that. And then I said, why did Paul and Stu move out? And that is in regards to Ben and Sean's apartment. Like, because they said Paul and Stu moved out. And I'm like, were they, like, why did they move out? I wish that would have been explained more. Because I don't know. It just, because that was kind of weird to me. 22 minutes to 23 minutes. Expert being stalked. LOL. Ben and Felicity's chat. I love it. I love how now she's being, like, stalked. Todd during the test is so annoying. I literally tell him to, like, eat dirt. Like, that is so annoying. I get so distracted in tests, so I'm not a very good test taker. Like, it takes a lot of concentration. Then I said Todd's very convincing, though, like, with his arguments and towards why him and Felicity should, you know, start something. And then I said, ouch, that bus, because that's what I remembered from this episode. Then moving on to episode 14, Todd Molokai Part 2. So I said yay for Elena, and Felicity, because I believe that was when they got into the McGrath class. Or they got interviews to get into the McGrath. Yeah, that was when they got interviews to see if they could get into the McGrath class. So they did really well on the test. Javier and Ben's honest convo from 8 minutes to 9 minutes I really liked. I like how Javier was like really trusting Ben because Ben was being honest. And I love honest people and characters. It's a trait that is one of my favorite traits in people. Noel's injury story from 10 minutes and 30 seconds to 11 minutes. 30 seconds was hilarious. It kind of reminded me of myself. Richard is running that dorm floor. It was really funny how he was doing that. I think Felicity is brave for making such a large leap from career to career. Like, she's going, like, doctor, that career is more stable, I'd say, than an artist career, because doctor is more of a direct path, but art, you can do it on so many different paths. And I think it's, like, it's very brave and inspiring, because, like, the thing about careers with me, personally, I want to be a teacher, and I don't want to be a teacher because it's an easy thing to do, you know, like, it's a direct path to a career. I want to be that because I'm passionate about it. And for doctors especially, like, if you're not passionate about it, don't go into it, because you're not going to do your best job. Like, you may do your best job, if you're not passionate about it and really putting your all into it, it's not going to be your best, truly. And even though art is more of a harder career to kind of carve out, and even doctors, but, like, because art is so unpredictable, like, either you can really succeed at it or you might not succeed at it, even if you're really good, like, so it's not as consistent. I think it's very brave, anybody who decides to pursue something that is not a direct path. I have a lot of friends, like, I have a friend who's in the art field, and she doesn't have a direct path, and that could be scary for her, but I find it very inspiring talking to her, because she is carving her own way, and I find that, like, she's following her heart and carving her own way, which I think is very inspiring, and I really, like, look up to her for that. So 23 minutes to 25 minutes, I said it was a cute convo between Felicity and Todd. I do like his character, I just think he comes on too strong. The kiss of death, that could be scarring for Felicity. And then I said Todd is a fiance, and then I said OMG, the girl from Psych, so the TV show Psych, her name's Julie, she's Todd's fiance. I've not finished that show, I'm still in the first season watching my best friend, so no spoilers please. I really like the doctor artist speech to the prof. And I feel like and then I go on to Julie, so I feel like the girl that Julie's working for is her mom, even when she's denying it. And I was shocked she got in that seminar, Felicity. And then I said, oh, Felicity and Noel at the end of the episode was very cute. Now moving on to episode 15, Love and Marriage. So Javier and Felicity married. Felicity is very selfless in marrying Javier. That was such a sacrifice, and, like, not really one that I think is the best sacrifice, but it was very sweet nonetheless. I really like the Ben and Swim team storyline. I like Noel's brother. And then I said this will be interesting. 24 minutes to 25:30. I forget what that is about. I probably should have wrote that down. Then I asked, why is Ben so bothered by Lynn? Is it because, like, he's competition? Like, he just seemed unnaturally bothered by him, but not Nicole, who is Lynn's girlfriend. I know this is a shock, Noel, but at least try to understand, like, about his brother. Like, I know it was a different time period, but also, like, I feel like even though it was a different time period and, like, LGBTQ issues were prevalent, but people were, like, there was more fear. I feel like even though the political atmosphere with those issues, not really issues, like, I hate calling it issues, but you guys know what I mean, like, the topics and such like that, like, people coming out, I feel like because it was so, you know, like, it's still, there's lots of obstacles for those groups to go by and everybody else, but I feel like because it was back then, it was even, like, more of a scandal, I guess. I hope I'm not, like, I'm trying to use the right terminology, but you guys know what I mean, like, I'm not, you know, I'm trying to be, like, politically correct, but I'm also trying to get the right words out. But basically, like, I just don't understand how Noel could do that, because even if the political atmosphere is crazy and chaotic, like, even if I lived back in that time and it was crazy and chaotic, if it was one of my siblings, like, I couldn't imagine saying that to one of my siblings and not accepting somebody that they love. Unless the person was, like, abusing them or something, but, like, that was not the case. So it's like, you know, like, I don't understand how he could be that cruel to his brother, but, like, I get it is a shock, especially when you find all the backstory and stuff like that, but, like, even if you're a little shocked, you'd be like, oh, I'm just a little shocked by this because of your long-term girlfriend, but, like, it's just something new to me, and it's a new experience, because it would be a new experience, but it really shouldn't be at the same time, because he's dating somebody who just happens to be the same sex. So, you know, I don't know. I was just like, Noel, get it together, because Noel seems like a very open-minded guy, so it kind of seemed out of character for him. Samuel and Javier, such a cute couple. And then I said, yay, Ben made the team. And then I said, I love Felicity and Javier's friendship. I've always loved their friendship, and I love seeing it grow throughout the show. Episode 16, The Fugue. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. So I said Felicity and the new boss. Uh-oh. And then I said Hannah's back. And then I have so many. Oh, no, I don't have actually that many notes in this episode. Then I said, Hannah, what are you doing? Like, hitting on Noel. Like, I kind of get Hannah hitting on Noel because she was the one to break up with him. But she didn't really fight for the relationship at the same time. Then I said, I forget what Eli's deal is with this whole show. He was just lurking around more, and he's the artist guy, in case you don't remember. Then I said 22 minutes, figure out what. You're in a relationship with Felicity, not Hannah anymore. No, like, what do you need to figure out? Like, either you break up, or don't leave Felicity, don't string Felicity along, because she's too nice, and she doesn't deserve that. Like, you were in a relationship with Hannah, and you were the one who picked. You didn't get broken up with. It's not like you got broken up with and she comes back. You broke up with her. So you had all the power, so I don't get what you're doing. Like, yeah. And then I said, I like Ben and Felicity's friendship. Elena trying to assist, 26:30, 27:10. I really like how Elena's like, you know, like, back off. Like, she's trying to, not really back off to Noel, but she's trying to, you know, take Felicity away from the situation so it doesn't upset her, like, for now. And then I said, Noel, you're an idiot. And then I said, this portrait is taking a long time to set up. This is not going to be a long night, like, with Eli, because he was, like, literally, like, it was, like, 5-6 minutes, and it was just, like, he just literally fixed her hair in that time. Moving on to episode 17, Assassins. So I said, a little too late, Noel, at the 2-minute mark, like, trying to get, you know, all back together. And then I love the quote, I'm a pacifist, LOL, when they're going to play Assassins, because the guy was, like, against kind of playing it because he doesn't believe in, you know, violence, because pacifists are people who believe in peace, and violence is never the answer. And it's a philosophical ideology that I studied last year because I took a war class. Yeah, it was called war. Sorry. At 6:45, so I found that kind of funny because I wouldn't have got that when I originally watched, because that was before university and I didn't know that term. Assassins, the game, I really liked, like, this, like, whole concept. And then I said Megan. Sometimes I call Megan Amanda because the actress's name is Amanda, and I think that suits the character too. But Megan does not look amused with this game, which was kind of funny. Then I said Elena speaking the truth, like, basically going after Noel. Sean and the librarian, like, I really like that little subplot. Richard was Noel's assassin, LOL, 21 minutes and 40 seconds. And then I said there's no need to apologize for your actions, Felicity, 23:30. Like, I know it's back in the past, but, like, I kind of hate how Felicity's apologizing. Like, he broke up with you, or he was saying no, like, he was need to think about stuff. Like, he was pretty much breaking up with you, or you're on a break, and you shouldn't apologize for your actions no matter what they are. Like, yeah, that was a little bit extreme when you were, like, kind of pushing his advances off, but you can do whatever you want with your body. And I hate when she was, like, apologizing. It's like, so what? Like, he wanted to go off of her. That's his problem. Like, you can do whatever you want. Like, yeah, it wasn't the best, nicest thing to do because you didn't know if you're officially broken up, but he made it sound that way, so it's his fault. If he would have had a sit-down conversation with her and told her how he felt, I feel like she wouldn't have jumped, but he did it so abruptly and so vaguely that, you know, she didn't know if they were there together or not. And if she was in a relationship with him, yes, apologize for cheating, but you guys were, like, broken up or on a break, so I didn't really get the need to apologize for her actions. Then I said I love how Elena has really gone into the Assassin's game. That was hilarious when her stalking that guy outside his room. And then I said Sean and the librarian, what a day planner match. That was so cute. Episode 18, Happy Birthday. I said good for Elena standing up for Felicity, not letting Noel, like, kind of beat around the bush, like, going, like, you know, like, I thought it got a little extreme, but honestly, I do the same for my friend. I said Megan's parents are coming, LOL, like, she's getting all ready. Knew she was her mother, so, like, the reveal that that girl that Julie was working for was actually her mother, and I said it was a cute scene and reveal. I really liked how it was on Julie's birthday, because this episode was surrounding her birthday. It's so close to the end of the semester. Why would Noel move out now? Like, I don't get that. Unless he's staying there in the summer, but I thought he was going to Boston because I'm pretty sure that's where he lives. So, like, why would you move now? Like, it's literally the end of the semester. And I said Megan's parents and Felicity's interactions were funny. And I said, ooh, the sports betting storyline, what like a teenage soap trope. I said, poor Sean, his date had to cancel. That was sad for Sean, because I really like Sean's character. Then I said, oh, Julie's bio mom is watching her set. I said, let Julie meet the family, like, especially because, like, those, yeah, in this episode, like, those aren't even her half siblings. Those are her full siblings. Like, half siblings I'd see maybe being, like, you know, like, it not pushing to meet them right away, but those are her full siblings. It's like, I know, like, half siblings shouldn't mean more than full siblings and stuff like that. I do have a half sister who I treat and act like she's my full sibling, but she doesn't live with me, so there's a bit of a divide kind of there, but still I consider her like a full sibling. I hate saying that word, but like that terminology, but like, especially because of her full sibling. They're half siblings that she'd have to respect the father's wishes, but like, those are literally her siblings, like, and that's very rare for that to happen. So like, I think she should be allowed to meet her family, especially because those siblings are, and her, like, the same, like, from the same mom and dad. Like, that's very rare. If it was from the same mom but not the same dad, I'd see maybe her having an objection, like the mother. Julie watching her family is so sad, especially because of that stereotypical all-American family, the nuclear family with the one girl and the one boy, like, and then Julie's kind of on the fringes. And said, what a speech, Ben, LOL at the end. Episode 19, documentary. I'm pretty sure I remember this being one of my favorite episodes. I said, yay for Sean's documentary. Richard's 7 minutes to 7:30 was pretty funny. Then I said, this grainy documentary footage, though. Then I said, you were late, your fault, Felicity. And I forget what that's about, too. Oh, wait, the McGrath seminar, she had to work alone. So I said, it's your fault, like, you can't complain. Especially because it wasn't, if it was an emergency, I get it, but it was a social call. And I said, where's the girl Lynn used to hang out with? Nicole, and she was mentioned at least, just she hadn't been mentioned in a while. And I said, aw, Sean and Chloe. I'm trying to rush through this a bit because the video is getting a bit long. Noel gets called out, LOL, 15:10 to 15:40. And then I said, I really like Noel's speech to Felicity, 23 minutes to 24 minutes. And I said, I love 25 minutes, Ben versus Felicity, the love triangle replaced by Eli, LOL. I really like how Sean was like, so you're replacing this love triangle. That was my favorite scene of the whole episode. I said, this hypnotist is hilarious when Noel went to the hypnotist. Then I said, brawl. And then Megan and Sean's interview was hilarious, especially at the end of the episode, that last scene. And then Sean got his documentary's happy ending, so that was good. Moving on to episode 20, Connections. The tie-tying scene between Noel and Felicity was very cute. I said, poor Ben, he made mistakes, but it sucks his dad cut him off halfway through the year. Like, if you're going to cut your kid off and be like a jerk, like, maybe make sure he can financially handle himself so he doesn't have to get kicked out of school. Like, he's trying to better himself no matter what. That was kind of scummy, but his dad's not been described in a good light anyway, so what would I really expect? I said, aw, Sean's such a good friend trying to co-sign the loan, even though it didn't work out. And then I said, Richard and Noel roommates, LOL, I'd watch that spinoff. And then I said, Lana, don't ask your prof out. And I said, Felicity, don't leave the store with Danny. And then I said, what a fake looking attack scene at 32 minutes. Like, literally, it was like one of the fakest looking scenes. And I said, oh, look at Danny moving up in the world. He got that promotion. And I said, Ben, maybe you should confide in your girlfriend at 38 minutes. And call your mom for help, Ben. And then said, good, you did, because then later on he did. 21, The Force. And some of my, speaking notes were in this episode. And next, LOL, Megan's spells when Felicity is sleeping were hilarious. I'm happy Ben's mom is going to help him because, he is trying to better himself. He's trying to get his education. Then I said, I really love this magical episode. Lynn's girlfriend hitting on Ben in front of Lynn is so mean and not classy at all. Like, especially the place he works, like, you're hitting on Ben. Like, break up with Lynn and then hit on Ben if you're going to do so. Road trip. And I said, Noel, take the internship. If you have some Felicity summer part, she didn't change it. The internship's too good of an opportunity to, like, mess up. Like, even if I was dating somebody and they had a really good internship like that, it was just the summer, especially nowadays. But, like, back then I kind of, like, the technology wasn't as good, but it's like, you should definitely take that because it's such a great opportunity and good opportunities that you have to grab at them, especially nowadays. Felicity is like Megan's lab rat with all these spells. Lynn doesn't look excited for his trip with Nicole at all. Like, he was talking about the Bahamas, like, jail. And then Ben cops out. Poor Julie at 30 minutes and 32 minutes. And then I'm going to go to my voice memos, so we're going to listen to the rest of what I had to say about this episode. The voice recordings are so quiet, so I'm going to have to listen to them and then cut away, so there's going to be a lot of cuts here. So I really love the tarot cards, that decoration in between transitions. Basically, I wasn't a big fan of Julie the first time around I watched this, but I'm actually liking her a bit better in this rewatch of the show. And also, I wanted to point out, since Julie is more seen as a free spirit and Elaine is a really steady, hardworking type. Not that Julie isn't hardworking, but she's more the free spirit of the group. Felicity is a perfect mix between both of them. I'm confused in this episode over Noel and Felicity's relationship status because they haven't defined it, and it's really confusing the audience because one day they're so hot and the other day they're so cold to each other. I really love Megan and Felicity's true friendship moments. I really love both those characters together. And then I said I think Ben and Felicity were the only ones going on the road trip. Like, I remembered only them going on the road trip, and I don't know why. So I was kind of confused when Noel and Julie were all jumping on board. Now moving on to episode 22, Felicity Was Here, which is also the season finale. Danny seems like a really good assistant manager. I really like him as assistant manager. Obviously, I like Javier more, but Danny's such a nice assistant manager to them, and I like to be scared of Felicity, even though Felicity is not intimidating. I hate how there was all this fuss about Julie's roommate, and every scene you see, she looks like she's in a single room. There was like roommate fuss at the beginning of the season, and I really wish she would have got to see her roommate because Felicity is Meg and Elena doesn't seem to have a roommate. Like, I wish there was at least one more roommate kind of mentioned. When Felicity and Megan's dorm room is empty, it literally looks ginormous. It's like 4 times the size of my room, I feel like, or like 3 times. Like, it's ginormous. My last 2 notes are I don't get why Felicity couldn't go on the road trip because she, like, why it's a betrayal to Noel and Julie, because she originally was going to go on the road trip. Ben lives in the same area as her, so it's like cheaper than buying a plane ticket, and she already said she was going to go on. It's not like they don't live in the same area, they live literally in the same town. It'd be a waste of money for her to take a plane ticket, and she said she was originally going to go, and they are still welcome to go. It's not like they're being excluded, so I don't get how that's a big betrayal. Yeah, it's a betrayal for her to steal Ben away, I guess, but I didn't like that kind of move by Felicity. But Julie knew Felicity had this giant crush on him going into the relationship, and not that that gives Felicity any leeway, but like, when you know that, like, going into your relationship, that your friend has like this stalkerish crush on him, it's, if he ever turns, it's gonna be hard for her to resist. Which I don't give Felicity, like, I'm not making excuses for Felicity. I'm just saying that when you know that going into a relationship, you need to make sure your friend is completely over it. And my last thing is, if this was I wonder if they knew if they were getting renewed before this, because it seemed like almost like a wrap-up, which is kind of a wrap-up of a school year, but if this actually ended on this episode, it wouldn't be the worst ending, but I obviously wanted to see more seasons. And now we're going on to my top 3 episodes. So my first top 3 episode is Todd Mukakeki Part 2. I think that both parts were really good, but Part 2 had more funny scenes with heartfelt scenes. It was a nice mix. Then my next episode is episode 17, Assassins. I really loved that episode. And then my next favorite episode is actually episode 19, Documentary. I found all those episodes had a good mix of heartfelt and funny moments. Assassins is definitely my standout episode that I really enjoyed, just because it had some really good scenes. Everybody was kind of, you know, going around the whole Felicity and Noel love story, so it was kind of interesting. And my episode to skip would actually be episode 16, the Fugue. I found that just annoying and repetitive. Is basically a repeat of one of the earlier episodes when Hannah and Noel were together and Felicity was like on the side, and then there was Felicity and Noel and Hannah was on the side. And there was a lot of like stuff that was just frustrating, and the characters weren't necessarily, I think, all there, and they weren't my favorite there. And then leaving on a discussion question, I want to know what you guys think now that you've seen a whole season. What are your impressions of the show? And let's discuss in the comments. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Sorry this video has been so long, but I had so many notes. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.